I've been screaming for this fight for ages. I think Mikaela's a great fighter. That style's going to just make for such a good fight, and I really can't see this not being female fight of the year. We're just going to meet each other in the ring, and we're both tough. We both got that will to win, and none of us want to lose. So it's going to make a really good fight.
Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Fight, and today's guest is the first ever British female to become undisputed champion, none other than Chantelle Cameron. Chantelle, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
So Chantelle, let's go right back to the start.
Yeah.
You just mentioned off camera you are from Northampton. That's where it all started. What age were you when you initially got into boxing?
So I was actually 18 when I got into boxing, but from 10 I was kickboxing. So I come from kickboxing, I done a year Thai boxing, back to kickboxing for another year, and then I decided to box, but it never was my plan to box.
Okay, why kickboxing out of interest? Where did that come from?
So obviously when I was younger, boxing wasn't really for women or girls. It wouldn't be like talked about that girls would be in the boxing gym. It was kind of like not a thing. And kickboxing, it was kind of, you'd have like girls competing more, and it was a bit more mixed. So I just loved fighting, so I ended up going to, and also I was actually really good at kicking. Okay. So it made sense to kick as well. So I started off kickboxing and just went from there, and I absolutely loved it. I was actually heartbroken when I stopped, but it was just costing my dad too much money. But I was really, really heartbroken when I stopped.
That's crazy that the Muay Thai sort of kickboxing community was way more women-based than boxing at that time. I would have thought completely the opposite, because Muay Thai's got that real old school mentality, hasn't it?
No, so it was way more girls in it. But like every weekend I was in competitions, my dad would literally drive me up and down the country. I would be fighting Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's Saturday, Sundays, and it could be anywhere in the UK. And I could have like 4 sections in a day fighting different women. So it was crazy. Loads and loads of girls in it. And
was it ever a consideration to do Muay Thai professionally?
It got to a point where it was costing my dad a lot of money. Like my family were going without food in the fridge and stuff just for me to go training, because kickboxing is expensive. You have to have all the uniform, gum shield, monthly training fees, and kickboxing coaches, like they've got money. So it was like, got to a point where it was costing my dad that much money. I thought, I can't keep doing this. It's not fair on the rest of my family. So I decided to go into boxing. It was like £5 a week to train, which is better than whatever my dad was paying. It must have been about 80 quid a month or something.
That is nuts, that considering where you are today, that started because you were basically just saving the family some money and doing something not as expensive. That is crazy. Okay, so let's go back to, I guess, that teenage period, right? What was Chantelle like at that point? Was you quiet? Was you confident? What was you like at, let's say, sort of 16 years old?
I was really quiet. I was really shy. Like even going into college and stuff, I'd really struggle to speak in front of people, and it was always like my biggest fear is speaking in front of people. But boxing now, it's changed my life, where I'm speaking in front of loads of people, sometimes go to schools and speak in front of hundreds of kids, and doing press conferences, fighting in front of loads of people. But 16-year-old me, I was very quiet.
Was that sort of shyness coming through in your boxing at that time when you started at 18? Or was it a case of boxing was almost like the safe place where you could express yourself? Fighting
was my safe place. So as soon as I put a pair of gloves on, I'm a different person. Even now, put a pair of gloves on me, I just switch.
It just blows my mind, like as someone who's never fought professionally at all, because to the average person, that's the thing that would make you go into your shell. That's the thing that would make you a bit nervous. But for fighters, someone like yourself, that's the thing that brings you out your shell. Why is that? Like, how does your mindset work to something like fighting to make so comfortable to you?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm way more comfortable when I'm fighting compared to talking. So talking in front of loads of people, I hate. But fighting, I can do it. It's no bother to me. I think it's just because I just switch off and think. I don't think about the cameras. I don't think about people watching. I just see someone in front of me, and like, it sounds a bit bad really, but I just want to punch their head in. So I don't really think about anything else. I just think I've got to punch your head in.
Yeah.
And I'm just comfortable there, and it's kind of like my happy place as well.
Yeah.
So it is weird because as soon as like even in the change room and stuff, I'm thinking, why am I doing this? I'm so nervous and thinking about all the cameras and everything. And then as soon as I get to the ring, I look at my opponent, it's just game over. I'm just completely in the zone.
That is crazy. The mindset of a fighter literally blows my mind. It's crazy. I read somewhere that at 14, a teacher of yours told you that you'd be stacking shelves with 2 children by 16. Obviously didn't work out that way.
I actually got sacked from Tesco, so he was right, but I got the sack.
Well, okay, we'll give him some credit there. We'll give him some credit.
I've got no children, but I did get sacked from Tesco.
Okay, fair. You got half right there.
But I was on the tills.
Yeah. But that comment, did those judgments at that time, did they drive you, or did they almost reinforce the more shy version of yourself?
I think it more reinforced the shy version, because back then I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I was still at school. I was like 15, so I was doing my GCSEs, and it kind of put me a bit more further into insecurities, because I didn't know what I was going to do, didn't know what I was going to achieve. I didn't really have dreams either. Like where I was from, you wouldn't dream, you had no dreams. You just thought, I probably did think I was just going to end up doing a 9 till 5 and just doing what everyone else done. I didn't really think outside the box, which is crazy, because now I'm in such a good position. I say to all the young ones now, like, dream big, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't achieve your dreams. But back then, I didn't really have any dreams.
So when did that flip happen? So you're, in your teenage years, you've said you wouldn't really be dreaming. Yeah. At what point did you think, I can do something big with my life and I can go in that trajectory?
When women's boxing was announced that it was going to go into the Olympics, and I knew that I was good at boxing. Like, I knew that I could fight, I had hands, and I had that champion mindset set where I thought I can become an Olympian. But I didn't become an Olympian. I was close, but I become a good professional boxer instead. Yeah.
And so that belief seems like, to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, it's slowly bubbling. It's slowly getting bigger. You go into the professional ranks, and your first world title came after 5 fights?
5 fights. IBO world champion, yeah.
Which is crazy in itself. At that point then, were you still struggling with that self-belief of what you could achieve? And I guess, was your achievements a little bit ahead of where your self-belief was at that point?
That's a really good question. I can remember winning my IBO world title, but I'll be honest, it didn't satisfy me. It was like I won against a good opponent as well, and it was a great night, a great memory, but I didn't feel nothing when I won. And even when I won the WBC world title, when I won it, I didn't feel nothing. It was only when I become undisputed. Like, it just felt like I just won a fight. It was just a victory. The belt didn't really...
Why is that?
Yeah, I really don't know. It's really weird, but nothing was different. It was only when I become undisputed and won all the belts where I was like, yeah, I'm the champ now.
So run me through that then. When you say you felt nothing, was it literally, and the new, you've got your world title, you're in the changing room, and you're just like, meh?
Yeah, it was. It sounds really ungrateful, because some people, that's their dream and that's all they want to achieve in boxing. But I think I'm just different. I set myself a big task of becoming undisputed. So just having one belt just wasn't enough. And it's kind of, I won it, but I knew that I wanted the rest. So it was kind of just like, whatever, I want the rest.
Interesting. This is really interesting, because we've gone from self-belief not being there to now I'm a world champion, but I'm feeling nothing because I know I'm going to be undisputed.
Yeah.
That is a crazy journey and a crazy switch in mindset, isn't it?
I think it's just fighting what it does to you. It just completely just flips the switch.
Yeah. And so was there a training camp or a fight where you were like, okay, I'm genuinely world class now. I'm very, very good. I belong here. I know I'm going to achieve everything I want. Was there a point in time during your career where that happened?
Never, no.
Not even slightly?
Never.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because I'm my own worst critic. I'm never good enough. So, and I get nervous for fights, and you know that I'm going to be facing a woman that's going to want it just as much as me, if not more. So I know that I'm talented. I know I can fight, but you never know what's going to happen because it's boxing. So I could never do that now. I couldn't go in there just having that strong belief. I think you always got to kind of have that fear, and fear's got me where I am as well.
Interesting. So when you beat Jessica McCaskill in 2022, become undisputed, first British female to win undisputed, which is amazing. I guess away from the belts then, because there's always the next one, and you know, you said you felt it at undisputed, but it's probably a next goal at that point that you looked to wanting to achieve. Beyond picking up belts, what was the moment of becoming undisputed? What did it mean to you?
It was one of the best nights of my life, because I didn't become undisputed. I beat an undisputed champion as well, which was like the icing on the cake. It wasn't like I just picked up the belts by fighting anyone. It was I beat an undisputed champion, so I knew I'd done it the hard way, and I think that was just such a achievement where that was a pat on my back, because I thought, I've done it the hard way and the right way. So I was it was one of the best nights of my life.
And would that be the first time that you'd given yourself the pat on the back?
Yeah, it was. I did give myself a pat on the back and thought that was good, because she was a great champion and she was very experienced and she was tough, and I went in there and I made it quite easy work.
Post fight then, what's the differences between a fight where you give yourself the credit, you allow yourself to celebrate and say, well done, bloody hell, that was a big achievement. What's the difference in the changing room? What's the difference when you go home? What's the difference with family?
More celebrations. You're happy, and you know that you performed well, you're in a really good place. But if you're kind of having one of the fights where you know you didn't perform your best, the changing rooms are a bit like, I could have done better. And I've had a load of them as well. I've had loads of them nights where I thought, I'm not happy with that.
What do you think? We'll talk about your fight coming up on the 29th. If you get the victory, will you give yourself a pat on the back in that fight?
Do you know what? I will, because I've had such a intense camp, and I really give it everything. So I say to everyone, win, lose, draw, I'm really happy with this camp, how it's been, because I've done everything right, and there's not been one session I've missed. There's been no excuses. So I'm going into it positive that I've done everything out of me. So there's nothing more I could give. I've given it everything, literally all the blood, sweat and tears. So I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for that, because there's other camps where missed sessions, or maybe not being as disciplined as I should be, or got a bit lazy, where this fight I really have gone above and beyond. So for me, that's a victory in itself, because I'm proud of myself for the way I've gone about this camp.
Do you think that's why you sort of allow yourself to celebrate a little bit more when you have done everything correctly? Is it a little bit of, in the back of your mind, you're like, well done, you've won, you've done well, but you could have done a little bit more, you skipped those sets? Do you think that's why?
I think so. You think I got a bit lucky there. I didn't get found out there. Where in these sort of fights, as big as they are, you can have them moments where you think, I could have got found out. You can get found out, because we're both elite fighters. So you got to do everything correct.
Absolutely. People see you with your achievements now, and they probably half think, so lucky to be Chantelle. I wish I could be her, right? But we just see your hands getting raised, right? We see the end result. In a camp, in your career so far, there's probably been a lot of ups, but a lot of downs as well. Talk to me about some of the sacrifices that come to be able to be undisputed. What are some of the things you've had to give up?
Loads of social events. You're always missing out on social events. You're always missing out on birthdays. It's a lot. You have to be dedicated, and you're not going to become undisputed with all ups. It's never going to happen. And if it does happen, then you are so blessed and so lucky. But there's a lot of ups and downs you're going to go through to reach the pinnacle, because it's hard. It's hard work, and that's in not just the fight in itself, but even in the industry, the business side of things. So for me to become undisputed, there was a moment when I never thought it was going to happen. I entered a tournament that was 4 of us to become undisputed, and it was a tournament like must have been 2022, and won my semi-final fight against Mayer McGee, and I was due to go to the final, and that would have been when I would have become undisputed if I won, and it just completely just disappeared. The tournament just went, and we never had that final, and I thought I'm probably never going to become undisputed now. And I was absolutely heartbroken. I took it really bad because I was so close. I was like touching it, and then it was kind of like ripped from underneath me. But then it turned out good because I got my undisputed fight in the end. But in that moment, I was like, undisputed is not going to happen again.
It makes it sweeter, right? It makes it sweeter when it's almost taken away from you.
I was touching it, and then it was just ripped from underneath me.
Yeah. So on the 29th of August, you look to unify again, 3 world titles against Mikaela Mayer. You both got 22 wins. What problem does she present that no one else maybe has so far in your career?
That's a good question. I'll be honest, I don't really look at problems my opponents can bring to me. I just focus on what I can bring to them. Yeah. So I'm one of them fighters where I don't look at what my opponent's doing or their strengths or weaknesses. I just look at making sure that I bring the best me. So I go into fights just thinking, just be me. And if I be me, I win.
Yeah.
So that's a really good question, but I can't answer it because I don't look into that with her, because I'm just focused more on me. And as long as I perform, then I know that that's all that matters.
Yeah. Do you leave that to your team then, in terms of them assessing, and then they'll obviously feed back to you on fight night?
So we go through tactics. So like my team have analysed like religiously all the time. They're watching videos, and we watch videos and stuff. So I know her strengths, I know her weaknesses, but we don't really focus on that. We focus on just my tactics. Yeah. And so I'm massively into visualization as well. And I visualize what I'm going to do. I don't visualize what she's going to do, because it doesn't matter. Yeah. As long as I prepare for what I'm going to do, because she could do anything. Don't know what she's going to bring to the table, but I know what I'm going to do, so that's all that matters.
Visualization's amazing as well. It's such an unappreciated tool for a fighter in particular, I think. Is that something you've done for a while?
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah. How do you sort of, are you sitting there, like daily, or is it a weekly thing, or running, or?
Few times a week.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're sort of just imagining the perfect performance, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it. I'm massive into the mindset stuff, so I like the little tools around it as well. So Mikaela has suggested this could be one of the fights of the year.
Yeah.
Do you think your styles will gel in that way?
Definitely. That's why I wanted this fight.
Yeah.
I've been screaming for this fight for ages, because I think Mikaela's a great fighter. I think she's a really good fighter, and I think our style's going to just make for such a good fight. And I really can't see this not being female fight of the year, because we're just going to meet each other in the ring, and we're both tough. We both got that will to win, and none of us want to lose. So it's going to make a really good fight.
You vacated one of your titles in favour of doing 3-minute rounds. You're obviously dropping back down to 2 for this fight. How much of a compromise was that for you?
I was a bit disappointed, because I think 3's are the way forward for women's boxing at this level. But I also wasn't going to lose the fight with Mikaela Mayer because of her time of her round, where I would have been punching myself if I said I'm only doing 3-minute rounds. It was kind of annoying, and I was a bit like disappointed, but at the same time as I just got a job to do. So to be honest with you as well, it makes it easy for me to doing less work. So beat her, then go back to 3-minute rounds. Yeah,
it's so true. Yeah, you kind of, I see you in terms of especially vacating a world title because you want to fight in a 3-minute round fights, right? That's being a leader, I think, in terms of the growth of women's boxing. Is that something you're conscious of in terms of your profile now, being someone who is really campaigning for the growth of women's boxing and taking it to the next level? Now
I am, because I'm very lucky. Like, I'm very fortunate, the fact that I've boxed off everything I said I wanted to do in boxing. So I became undisputed. I wanted to beat Katie Taylor. I've beaten Katie Taylor. And for me now, it's more, I want to leave my own legacy, and I want to be one of them that's leading the way and doing it my way as well. So I've done everything I wanted to do in boxing. I'm just going to have some fun with it now and make them sort of sacrifices where if I think women boxing should do 3-minute rounds and an organisation doesn't want to support that, then yeah, I'll vacate that belt.
So would you say now then sort of campaigning for women's boxing is more important, your legacy, more important than world titles at this stage?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Is that the legacy you kind of want to leave behind now then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I got that feeling from, you know, just various interviews and the way you're talking now, for sure. And I think when you're talking about legacies and leaving behind, you know, something that really lasts, then that's
more important.
Yeah.
Like, belts are great, but I've won every belt there is in boxing.
Yeah.
So how many do I want to add to my collection? Like, I'd rather be adding a brighter future for the next generation. I think that's more important than belts just hanging around in my house.
Yeah.
It's great I won all the belts. Like, I'm really proud of it, but I've done it now. So I think make it easier for the next generation and leave my mark in a way that I want to leave it.
Do you think, just from the way you're talking, so you could tell me I've completely got this wrong, right? But we started the convo by talking about, you know, winning a world title and not feeling anything.
Yeah.
And now you speak about this world titles at home. It's great, but it's kind of, you know, done now sort of thing. Yeah. Do you think it's because in the back of your mind somewhere, you believe that there was a greater purpose and a greater achievement beyond world titles from the very start?
I think more like, I feel like I'm a bit of a leader now. Not leader like where I want to like show people that you can do it my way. And I feel like my journey is also a lesson as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I can leave a lesson to someone up and coming where I have won all the belts, but I've also had a roller coaster of a journey. And I think it's a great lesson for anyone who is kind of like going through the same kind of segments.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. Do you think then in terms of women's boxing, to go to the next level of where it is, obviously the growth's been amazing over, you know, the last 10 years or so, but to go to that next level now, do you think it has to be 3 minutes all the time?
So I do see the pros and cons to 2-minute rounds. It is exciting because it's fast paced, but for the judging, there's been a few bad decisions, hasn't there? Because there's a minute each. So like if I'm on the front foot for a minute, my opponent's on the front foot for a minute, so I nudged that, then how are you going to score that round? There's no like in between, where with 3-minute rounds, I feel like it's going to be easier for the judges to score. And I do think if you're going to be fighting for world titles and you're an elite world champion boxer, I think you should do what the men are doing. The amateurs do it, so why shouldn't the pros? It's kind of like going backwards, I think. That female amateurs are doing 3-minute rounds, they come pro boxing and go back to twos. It's just, I think it's just like, doesn't make sense.
I agree. And I think from, let's say, the average boxing fan, right? I don't think the skill level, the technical level in the women's game is respected as highly as it should be.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, the shorter rounds do lead more to an amateur style in terms of volume.
It gets a bit scrappy, I think.
Yeah. And I think you are all incredibly skillful.
Yeah.
And that extra minute would allow those skills
to show. Yeah. And I think like with 2-minute rounds, you get desperate because you know you don't have long. So the bell goes and it feels like the bell's gone again. And then you're like, where's them 2 minutes gone? And that's how I think it's so easy to lose rounds. But with the extra minute, you can kind of like go up and down. So do you know what I mean? It's like a wave. You can go like up a pace, come down a pace, up a pace, and I feel like you can really show your skills as well. Where 2 minutes rounds, you ain't got time, so you can't pick your shots, you can't look for your shots. You just got to throw as many punches as you can and not get hit.
Yes or no answer to this one. Do you think by the time you hang up your gloves, women's boxing will be 3 minutes all the time?
No. Do you know why? Because not all women are supporting it. And I feel like that's the problem, is we all need to like support each other with making the movement. But there's a lot of women that still want to do twos, and that's absolutely fine. But for the future women's boxing, and if you do want equal pay and equal rights, and if not, you're not going to get it because we're doing 10 twos, we're doing less work than the men. So how can you want to be paid more money? We're doing less work. But 3-minute rounds, you've got a bit more of an argument.
Absolutely. Now, we have to talk about your rivalry with Katie Taylor. you got obviously that massive win over her.
Yeah.
When you lost, because you fought in the amateurs, right? And lost back in 2011. At that point then, could you ever have imagined that fast forward, you would be ring walking at her own homecoming as undisputed champion and then go get the win?
Never. But do you know what the crazy thing is so she beat me in 2011. It was my second international, but I only had 3 domestic fights in boxing. So she beat me when I was pretty novice as a boxer, because I obviously transitioned into the kickboxing. But do you know what the crazy thing is my amateur coach, Arthur Daly from King's Heath, he was trying to get me to fight Katie Taylor when I just was switched over to boxing. So he was speaking, I don't know who he was speaking to. I'm going to have to ask him one day because I'll never forget it. She beat me in that international, and then we was hearing that she was struggling to get people to go to Ireland in the amateurs to fight her. So Arthur contacted, I don't know who, but was like, we've got a girl, like we'll bring her over. And it was me. And honestly, I swear to God, and Arthur wanted them to, I'll go box in Ireland on one of their like club shows as long as she came back and boxed us on a club show. But they never wanted it. But I can remember there was like looking for opponents, but they never wanted to box me. And then obviously when I did go pro, I become mandatory at lightweight with the WBC to fight Katie for like 2 years it was. Never got a look in. It was never going to happen. Went to super lightweight, become mandatory, never got the look in. So like I was always on her toes, but it was never going to happen. Like they didn't want the fight. And then one random night, Katie just went on Instagram and shouted me out, and that's where it went from.
The rest is history, as they say. When you talk about the rivalry, there's a big grin on your face.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I just think it's hilarious. I think the whole situation's like, I used to be frustrated with the whole situation, whereas now I just think it's funny. I just think it is what it is.
Yeah. You admitted during that fight that you had doubts whether you could win the fight or not. Your team didn't. To them, it was you were guaranteed you were going to win, right? That's quite a rarity for a fighter to admit, you know what, I didn't think I was going to win that fight. Normally it's hide the truth. Yeah, I've had the best camp ever. I'm going to win this fight, no doubts. What was your thinking behind that sort of, I guess, allowing yourself to be a bit more vulnerable in that?
I think my biggest problem is in boxing is I'm too honest. And sometimes, sometimes like I shouldn't be so honest, but I'm never going to change who I am just because of a sport and the industry. Like I'm always going to say what I think and be honest, because I just think what's the point in lying and having false confidence? There's too many people with false confidence, but just be real. And I never thought I was going to win. I really didn't. So I was excited for the fight and I knew that I'd give her a hard fight. But I'll be honest, you've seen fights with Amanda Serrano, Delphine Persoon. Yeah. I think Delphine Persoon 100% won her fight against Katie Taylor and she didn't get the nod. I think Amanda Serrano had a I think the first fight, Amanda Serrano won. She didn't get the nod. Then I'm going to Katie Taylor's homecoming, because it was her homecoming. Shouted me out, go to her homecoming in Dublin. I was like, I am not getting this win. Like, Delphine couldn't do it in New York. Was Amanda Serrano's in New York? I think it was.
I think New York as well.
Yeah, they weren't even in Ireland. And they still didn't get the nod. And I was like, Matchroom Show, Katie Taylor, Queen of Boxing in Ireland. I'm not getting this win, but I done it.
Yeah, the
Still
odds.
To this day, I don't know how.
Yeah, the odds were stacked for sure.
Yeah.
So during that fight, at what point, whether it's around, whether it's before, at what point are you thinking?
First round.
I've got this.
First round.
From the start.
Yeah, because I expected her to be I expected her feet to be a lot sharper, and I kind of know from Katie's style that you stick it on her, she's gonna fold. Like you see it, like the blueprint was already there for me, and I was good at coming forward, aggression, but I was more like concerned about her footwork, thinking she's gonna be hard to pin down, but she wasn't. And I kept hitting her with the jab, and my jab was the key, and I couldn't miss with the jab. And as soon as the first round, like about 15, 20 seconds in the first round, I just thought, she's not as good as what I had in my head.
Interesting.
She's great. Like, don't get me wrong, she's a very, very good fighter. But on that night, I was just on fire. I was in a different level.
Flow state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm massive on flow state.
Yeah. It's just when you're not even thinking about what you're doing.
It was just happening. It was coming off. Everything we'd been drilling was just coming off. And I was hitting her and I was thinking, I've been doing this for weeks and weeks on end now, and she was just there to be hit.
So you get to the end of the fight,
Yeah.
obviously put on an unbelievable performance. But as you've already mentioned, the odds were stacked. We're in Dublin. We're at the homecoming. The first scorecard gets read out.
Yeah, draw.
It's a draw.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind at that point?
I've lost.
Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, I've lost. Yeah. As soon as I heard the draw, I was like, yeah, no, I've not got this.
When you say that's your train of thought, are you literally there like, well, it's done?
Yeah, I performed well. So I kind of was like, I knew I boxed well, but I thought I've not won this.
And when the results read out
Yeah.
and you win, what is going through your mind at that point?
I think I was in shock. Like, now I look back, I don't think I took it in. I don't think it really like sunk in the moment. And then I think it was the next day where I thought, oh my God, I just beat Katie Taylor in Dublin. So I think that night, I think it was just a blur.
Yeah.
I think it didn't hit me what I'd done. But I think my team knew what I'd done. Everyone around me was like absolutely buzzing, but they kind of knew what I was capable of. But for me, I think I was just in shock for like 24 hours thinking, what have I just done? It was crazy.
When you talk about legacy, I mean, that's legacy. That's going to be in the history books forever.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's why we're not friends.
Yeah. You obviously had the rematch, right, which made it 1-1. But what I want to know is, in that fight, in the defeat, what did you learn that maybe beating her again wouldn't have taught you?
Stars make fights. Yeah, stars make fights. Her tactics were very good, but I also learned a lot from that fight. Like I let her do what she was doing, and the ref wasn't helping Maz. Like, he wasn't. Like, I was like trying to stop the hold. Again, I was trying to like stop the holding and that, and I was relying on the ref to do his job. But now I learned from that is don't rely on the ref. Like, I should have got myself out of them situations without relying on the ref. But I'd never been in that situation before. I'd never had a cut like that. I've never been held like that. Usually, like, you do have a ref, don't you, to be like, break it up, clean it up, girls. But it was constant. It was every single time I was close, it was grabbing me, spoiling me. Yeah. But her tactics were good. They worked. Yeah. It got her the win. But what I did learn from that is don't rely on the ref. I was looking at him for help, and it was like, I wasted the fight because of that. I should have just got myself out of them situations. But it's a lesson learned.
So yeah, speaking of Katie, she obviously hangs up her gloves very, very soon. We've come to the end of her career. How would you assess it and the legacy that she's left behind for women's boxing? So
I think Claressa and Katie have got women's boxing where it is now, especially in the pros. Like, before Claressa and Katie and their gold medals at the Olympics, nobody cared about women's boxing. It wasn't on TV. So I think she's always going to be a massive icon in that sense, and a legend. I think she's had a great career, but I think it's time for her to bow out.
It is. We got to talk a bit about Claressa Shields, because obviously talking about, some of the best female boxers around, she is up there. On Saturday the 15th, she returned to the middleweight division and got a 6-round win for the WBA and WBC titles. Where does Claressa rank in the all-time women's list? Is she number 1? Is she 2? Where would you say she is?
Number 1. I definitely think number 1. She's undefeated. Like, how many world titles does she have? Like, she just cleaned up.
Heavyweight. She's got middleweight. It's crazy.
She's cleaned up. I think Claressa, I can't see anyone beating her. I think she's just, like, that, again, that's just being honest. I think she's just a level above all the females. I really do. I think she's got it all. And, I think she's number 1, without a doubt.
She called out a few fighters after her fight. I think she called out Lauren Price as well. She didn't call out you. Would that be a fight? Yeah, would that be a fight? I think there's only a weight class above yours. Would that be a fight that would tempt you?
If the money was right, 100%. And again, that's a legacy fight. Do you know what? before I lost to Katie, my biggest fear was losing. But now I have took that loss. What I've learned from it is a loss doesn't matter. I actually would fight someone like Claressa to, when I do hang up the gloves, to say I boxed the best there is. And yeah, if the money was right, I'd fight Claressa.
100%.
But I wouldn't want paying well for it.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so you should. Obviously, we spoke about Katie. We spoke about Claressa. Could you make an argument for Katie being number one above Claressa, or
No.
not at all?
No, not at all. I think she's been very lucky. Not lucky in a sense of like her career. I think I beat her, on paper.
Yeah.
But I don't think she beat Delphine. I can remember watching it, and I was watching it, and I really did feel for Delphine. I think she mullered Katie, to be honest with you. And Amanda, I felt for Amanda as well. So who's like got close to beating Claressa? Nobody. So I don't think you can argue it, no. And Clarissa's gone through the weights, where I think Katie's been, she obviously from lightweight to super lightweight, but she's gone no further. Like she hasn't gone through the weights like Claressa has. So no, Claressa, I think, like levels above.
It's similar, I guess, to like Floyd Mayweather. You know, when someone's so good that you don't appreciate how good they are.
I think she's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think Claressa's really good.
But like
I think
you say,
she like her, even like her skill and everything. She's unreal.
Yeah, unbelievable. Now, obviously, in boxing, right, there's a lot of talk about brain health and things like that, and that's something you've spoken quite openly about. As a fighter, then, is that something you're aware of on a regular basis in terms of, your training structure? Is it something you think about as fights approach?
So I don't spar outside of camp now. So I only spar in camp, and I only start sparring 8 weeks for my fight because I'm 35 now. I've been fighting since I was 10. That's a long time. Remember, I was getting kicked in my head. So I was getting kicked in my head, not just punched in my head. I was getting like shins in my head. So I'm really like cautious now, thinking that's a lot of damage to your head. And I want to make sure that when I leave boxing, I've got a future. I don't want to be slurring my words. I don't want to be repeating myself. I don't want to be forgetting everything. Like I want to live a normal life. I want to catch up for the life that I've dedicated to boxing, but go enjoy myself. But I want to do that healthy.
Yeah, actually have the ability to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Yeah,
I do. Like, and I think I've got so many like people around me, and even my team, that will be like, Chantelle, knock it on the head.
That's great.
I'm very lucky like that, and I know I have as well. I trust people. The people that I can trust, I know that would be like, call it a day. And that's enough. And I'm not going to have no ego about it and think one more, because one more could be the difference between putting a sentence together and not putting a sentence together.
It's crazy. You still see, when I go and train at a boxing gym, you'll still see guys having wars.
I hate it.
Some of them, maybe there's a 10 kilos difference. And neither of them are wearing head guards.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. It's just no idea. And sometimes I blame the coaches, because it's like, why are you letting them do that? Or like sparring like 3-4 times a week, and they're boxing a 6-round fight, but they're sparring 10 rounds. It's hard sparring. It's like, you don't need to do that. I think it's just poor coaching.
Has it made you a bit more, I guess, selective in terms of the fights you take at certain times as well? Or is that not really
to be fair, I'll fight anyone.
Yeah.
But the sparring is just something I'm more wary of.
Yeah.
And like, I wouldn't be like, if I had a fight that I did take a bit of damage, I've been quite lucky, to be fair. I think the only damage I took in a fight was when I got headbutted and I got cut by Katie. But I've not really had damage other than that. Like, I'll come out like fine. Yeah. Like nothing wrong with me, like sore hands or something. It was only when obviously I had the stitches from the cut that I've took like impact like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
No, but I think I'll touch wood as well.
Maya needs to watch her head.
So yeah, you mentioned you obviously want to, one day once you finish boxing, you'll be able to enjoy it. What does a perfect end to your career look like for you now? Have you set any targets at this point? Because I know you mentioned, you've achieved everything you wanted to. So for this last sort of stint of your career, what are the targets that you've set for yourself?
I'd like to box just the top 10 pound for pound fighters to tick some of them off. So it's not about belts, it's more about names. So I like to on the pound for pound list, I'd like to tick them off. Obviously not all of them, because that's a fair few fights and I'm getting on a bit, but a few of them, yeah.
I mean, that answers what I was going to ask you in terms of legacy you want to leave behind, but, you know, it's probably a little bit of what we said, championing for women's boxing for one, but then just being known as someone who has just fought everyone they could, never said no to a fight. Yeah, that's kind of where you're at with that. Have you thought much about life after boxing at all? Because I know we spoke out there, and you sort of said about the structure. As soon as you fought, when it's not there, you go a bit stir crazy. Have you thought much about what comes next at all, or what you'd like to do?
So everyone keeps asking me this question as well. It's crazy. It's like this last couple of weeks, everyone's saying, "Oh, what's after boxing?" But I kind of don't know. Like, I would love my own gym. I would love I think I'm gonna like test the waters with things. I think I would love my own gym. I love training people. I do have investments now, but I know I'm going to have to keep myself busy because otherwise I'll go crazy. But I think I'm just going to go with the flow. And I'm not going to like put pressure on myself I've got to have another career. Where I'm going to, after boxing, I think I'm going to take it slowly and find what I want to do, because it'll be hard to walk away from the sport. So I wouldn't want to just like throw myself into things just because I miss boxing. But I also want to make sure that I don't go back to boxing. When I leave, I leave. That's me done.
Yeah. So you won't be one of these fighters that's retired and then comes back. No. Okay.
Like 40 odd on that. No.
We'll keep this just in case.
Yeah. 41.
So I mean, just from talking to you, like, a lot has changed for you over the years, from the 10-year-old that started Muay Thai, the 18-year-old that started boxing. Your life has just changed dramatically. If you could go back and give your 14-year-old self some words of advice, knowing where you are now, what do you think you would say?
Believe in yourself. Because I think I always struggled with that. And it's only recently, to be honest, that I'm starting to believe in myself. Like I said, Katie, number one, I never believed in myself. And I think it's because I've been doing so much mind work. I've been doing a lot of visualization and mind training. I've been putting a lot, since I did take my loss to Katie, I've been doing so much work on myself. Like, because it's not just about boxing. It's about how you carry yourself as a person as well. And to be honest, I didn't like myself. So I had to make changes. And if I look back now, I'd say to that young person is believe in yourself, because anyone can achieve anything, I think, but you have to believe in yourself. And I never did, and luckily I did achieve what I've achieved, but I never ever did believe in myself. Everyone else believed in me, but I didn't believe in myself. But I believe in myself now.
All right, guys, so we are going to go into our quick fire round with Chantelle. Now, Chantelle, you ready?
Go.
Cool. So, number one, if you weren't a boxer, what job would you be doing?
PE teacher.
What's your next walk-on song?
Can't tell you that.
Fair. I was actually thinking as I read it.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
Favorite post-fight meal?
Southern fried chicken and chips.
Nice, solid choice. Hardest puncher you faced?
Mary McGee.
The best technical advice you've ever received?
I'm just going to say basics. Yeah, just basics. I'm thinking of my amateur coach there, Arthur, just everything's basics. There's best technical advice, do it correct.
Number 6, what's the best sound in boxing is?
Do you know what I think it is? Hitting someone with a body shot and going, oh.
That is a good sound.
That's the best sound, yeah.
Yeah, where it makes it makes you step back and admire your work for a little bit.
That's a good one. Got you.
Number 7, if you could watch any fight in history from ringside, which one would it be?
Canelo and Golovkin.
Nice, good choice. And number 8, when it's all over, what's one word you'd want to associate with your career?
No fair. 2 words, but...
We'll let you have it. We'll let you have it. All right, guys, that's another episode of Beyond the Fight. Thank you so much to Chantelle Cameron for coming on. And that's it. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, because that helps us really grow the channel. Jump in the comments, hype it up, let us know what you think, because we love to hear. And we'll see you on the next one.